Hey, what's up, guys? So, I did get matched up with PooPoo, so I'm guessing he went the same route pretty much. 1-1, the first one, lost the second one. So here's the matchmaking, and it looks like the other guys in the 1-1 bracket did like I did. They couldn't clear a room, so PooPoo did. So this will be interesting to see what he has on offense and defense. So after that loss, I dropped down even more than I did before. So that's kind of disheartening, because that makes me think that the only way to finish top 100 next week would be, I definitely have to go 2-1 this week, and maybe even, I don't know if I'd have to go 3-0 next week to finish. I don't know if 2-1 gets it done, but we'll see. My ranking is back down to 1981, so definitely only a win today, and I'm thinking a 3-0 next week will make M3. So we'll see how that works out. So I decided to try this Illuminati with Black Knight in room 1, if nothing else, to see how it's beaten, because I think I've seen Nemesis go into them in room 4. He sacked it, and then he did Illuminati and he almost won. He had to take 3 attempts to do it. Well, actually, that was room 5. So I'm not sure what happens if they're in room 1. So I'm going to try that. My same defense in 2, 3 as well. I want to try this Mysterio with the Orchis, and we'll see if that matters. I don't know if it's a plus or a minus with them being in room 4, but we'll see. And I decided to try this Weaver in room 5. Saw Desir talking about it, so maybe that will slow down his Odin, or he'll have to sack it. I'm not sure how that works, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, he may have figured out a counter, and if he did, then I will know the counter. And so I don't have much else left, but my out of time is just built bigger than my Extreme Rogue. So it's like, well, let's just go with them. With on Quicksilver, maybe that will trip up his new Warriors. Maybe it won't. We'll see. But I'm hoping at least room 1 causes him to sack, and that will give me a chance. And maybe he has to sack 5. And so his defense, he is running, I ran this quite a bit in room 1. And unfortunately, I have Weaver on defense, so that's what I would have used, this Tangle Web. So we'll see what I'm going to do here. He's got Orchis with Black Knight. My first thought is I have to sack it, because I don't see, with what I have on defense, any real way to one-shot that. I'm going to have to give some thought to room 3. I mean, I do have Odin on offense now, so it's definitely Odin. My first thought is going with Odin and Apoc together. That may be what I have to do. And so 4, probably Superior 6, 5, Eternals, Pegasus, and Nick. And 6, I'm thinking, off the top of my head, would be Mercs. And maybe a good 5th, since there's so many Spider-Verse, would be Lizard. So let's give this a go, guys, see how it goes. So when I took a look at this team, I said, I don't know really what to use here. And I thought about what I've used on the Annihilator Skrull, and that's Apoc for sure. I've used Red Hulk, and I said, what else has been used? And I said, I think I've used Nova. And so I checked the counter sheet, and of course those 3 were used before. And I said, oh yeah, I've used Ultimates too, and I saw Ultimates in there, because I was checking to see anything that was not Illuminati, Tangled Web, or Superior 6. And so it so happened that I had these tunes. These were really some of my biggest tunes. And I said, well, let me put Red Hulk and Ultimates on the end. Maybe they'll live. If they target the ends, then they die. And then I have the 3 in the middle that can help out. And so the plan is just to go in. And basically, I thought Red Hulk would go soon enough that I could rewind. But of course, Apoc goes first because he was hit. And that means I'm going to have to Falcon Punch the Gladiator. I was hoping I would not have to, so I checked and said, well, let me just see if I can. I said, I can't. So let's hit him. And then I was hoping Red Hulk would go. But the main thing is that at least I got the assist from Odin, so that weakened the Gladiator quite a bit. Now, I wasn't able to slow down the Skrull or anything like that, so it's like, well, we're going to go ahead and still try to rewind those two. I tried to do something else. And as you can see, Ultimus is dead. As strong as he is, he's already gone. Fortunately, Odin gets his special. And so I use his special here, and I said, okay, I have a chance. And my hope was like, okay, either Red Hulk or Nova has to live. I'm hoping Apoc lives. Hopefully he can, but he's really low. So Red Hulk is dead. I'm not going to get his ult. I said, okay, fine. I can't do anything else but try to do the stun. And so I hit the stun, it doesn't land. It caused a little bit of damage, so that helps. And I said, okay, let's try again. Of course, the taunt is still up. And because I was just really trying to see if I could get to anybody else that the taunt may have been able to switch to, especially like an Apoc. And that was my fear, is that the Thanos would go. So now I'm just down to Odin. Fortunately, Odin is so strong, and he got a special off, that you can see how devastating his basic is. And I do like having him as striker for that reason. And so fortunately now I get to use his ult. He puts in a lot of damage on the team. Gladiator's gone, and I have a chance, but Skrull is not gone. Mephisto is still there. And so I said, okay, well, maybe one more hit here and I can kill the Skrull, and then I feel a little bit better, especially Skrull is missing. And you can see how low my Odin is getting. And of course, no one dies. And I said, okay, God, he's getting low. Hit again, and that's why I put it on 2. I said, I gotta see what's going on. And I was able to hold on. So I kept going, and I said, okay, well, if you're here, you can at least try to clean this up. But fortunately, I did not have to. And you see Odin held on, and he won this match. So this was a very close one, and fortunately, I got it. As I'm thinking I have to limit my drop rooms. So I go to the next room that I think is the toughest. And this room seems to be the superior 6. So I said, well, in war, the Mercs really tear him up, and I said, I got Lizard, so we're going with Lizard. It seems like a very good counter, and since he has Quicksilver, I said, well, this should still work. I can control the board pretty good. And so when I go in, you know, Lizard does go first, and I'm thinking the best thing to do is just to go ahead and target the Peter, because I normally target Peter anyway. And really what happens is, because the Lizard does go first, Old Man Logan gets his assist. And since I have the 2 tanks on the end, Pav is not going to really hurt my team. And so this really sets things off. Ideally, in war, I would go in on the Peter, stun him with Old Man Logan. I have the revives up, so I feel very confident now that this will be a good win. I don't expect it to be good efficiency, but if it is, that's great. I target the Quicksilver mostly for damage, because I really think that when you look at Doc and you look at Deadpool, they're extremely underrated. They hit really hard. And so that's the idea, is just to go in and try to get some damage for them. I don't know if really I can get an ability block or anything like that from using the Deadpool, but it didn't matter, because the main thing is just try to get some damage, try to set them up, and let this be the Old Man Logan show. Now, Lizard is still alive. That's a plus. I did not expect that. So it's like, well, maybe I can use Lizard special to my advantage and make something happen here. And once again, I like to go in on Peter, because Peter's the problem. Some would have said hit Penny, maybe some would have said hit Pav, but with Old Man Logan having his revives, I'm like, well, let's just get Peter out of here as quick as I can, as I think he's the biggest threat. Now there, Lizard didn't do what I wanted him to the Pav, but he did put a Billy block on the Peter. So I said, okay, I'm a little bit safe. Let's go to the other side, hit the Pav, maybe we can limit his special, and try to kill him first. And so I get a lot of damage in on him. You can see all the assists. You can see how Old Man Logan is coming in, doing what he does. And I said, well, you still have the revive. Let's go with the ult and just cause some more damage. We get that in, and you can see the team is basically dead now. So I'm in good shape. Lizard's healed up. And so now it's like I wanted to target, but of course, the Deadpool goes for the weakest tune, which is fine, because he killed Ghost Spider. She likes to dodge, so I figured that would help in the long run. Peter's almost dead. Focusing on Peter. And I wasn't too worried about that Pav ult, because Mercs don't usually suffer too much from that in war, so it worked out pretty well. Now, normally I would go on Superior 6 here, and I felt pretty good. The thing that this guy did that I think makes it play a little bit differently is he placed Dorm away from Nightcrawler. And I said, okay, I don't get the slow on Nightcrawler. But it's like, well, you still got to go in. So I target the Forge. And it's like, well, I'm not sure here if I go ahead and block the Forge or block the Nightcrawler. So I put it on Nightcrawler, and that could have been a good move Because you see where Forge is, and I'm like, well, if Forge dies first, he'll come back. So I don't, so the block really wouldn't matter. That's why I kind of went that route. And now Rogue is taunting, so it's like, well, you just got to get around a taunt. This will be fine. Forge comes back. And what I should have done here is zeroed in on the Forge. But I figured Nightcrawler was in the yellow. It would be okay to target the Nightcrawler. Now, I was hoping that would hit. They dodge. That's fine. Let's get those out the way. Let's go ahead and try to juice up the team a little bit. And here I'm thinking, well, let's target the Nightcrawler. I did not expect Nightcrawler to die. And of course, when that happens, Forge heals him up. He speeds him up. And perhaps if I would have had a Mysterio, I could have survived this. But at this point, they're all at full power, and it's going to take a long time for my team to get back around to their ults. My biggest hope at this point is that Slayer can come in and do some damage. But what you'll see here is that Rogue, of all people, targets Slayer. Or not Slayer, she targets the Kraven, because Kraven was my hope. Also, Nightcrawler targets Kraven. So Kraven is stunned, and then I believe Rogue goes in and she ability blocks the Kraven. And that just kind of seals the deal, because that one misplay really threw off this counter as a one shot. And so from here, I'm just trying to get it down. I'm saying, well, maybe I can get somebody else killed to get them down low enough, and I'm going with something else. But the thing is, I really don't have a lot else. I have the Night Stalkers and in Darkhold, but I don't know if that beats this, so that would be risky. And I know this can win, so I said, well, let's just go in. Oh, actually, I thought the Rogue hit on this try. I guess it's the second try. But you can see the team falls apart. The Nightcrawler does his ult. So it's like, let's just go back in. Let's play it again. And this drop could cost me the match, because I was only hoping to just drop one room. We'll see how that goes. But at the end of the day, I started this over. I play it from the beginning the same way. The focus is this time is that I'm going to go for the Forge no matter what. The only thing is Rogue is taunting. She didn't go stealth, so I have to hit the ability block on Rogue. The only thing is it actually played to my advantage, because you can see how close to death the Forge is. He's much lower. And I said, well, maybe this will work out. So when I do the ult here, Forge dies, and that's okay. Well, now I'm in good shape. And so now it's just like, just try to get back over to the Forge, because you know the mistake from before, and then you'll be able to control this much better. Also, I did want to take out the Gambit. And so I got the Gambit out, Forge is dead, and I said, okay, well, now I got this match under control. At least I don't have to worry about trying to take in a second team that may or may not work. Because at the end of the day, I knew I wanted to sack his Orchis with Black Knight, and then I was going to go in with New Warriors. And it was just going to be a risk with some of the other teams that I have to clean this up because of what I have on defense. So at least this plays out well. It's a reminder, just go for Forge no matter what, because at that point, at least the cleanup would have been better. They would have been low like this, and I could have taken them out with anything. At the end of the day, it's still a double tap. Could have been a one shot, and hopefully that doesn't cost me on this match. Now, when I go into this one here, this is just my old counter. I didn't remember the placement, but I had the team set, so I said this must be the placement I'm using. And I hadn't done this counter against Dorm or the Doom in a long time, so I wasn't quite sure how to play it, especially with Doom next to the Sasquatch. So I said, okay, well, let's just go in. We're going as normal. We use Icarus ult, and so what I decided here was to use the Kestrel ult. I thought about it, so we'll just use Kestrel's ult. We hit him. He doesn't die. That's fine. He's stealth. We'll ult again. Only thing is I had Nightcrawler targeted, and I forgot she's on Striker. Or not Nightcrawler, the Wolverine. And so I probably should have targeted the Guardian. But at the end of the day, the special took out the 3 from the Iron Man. Well, he took out 1. He took the 3 down. And so it's like, well, just be careful. What do you want to do? I'm going to go ahead and stun the Doom, just to be safe. Even though I have Kestrel, I know she'll make sure his bots don't go. It's like, just be safe. We stun the Doom, and that takes care of Doom. And so the special here on Wolverine kills the Doom, takes Wolverine, well, actually kills Wolverine. And now it's just like, well, you're in good shape. The counter is not as effective as I would like to have been, But at the end of the day, it's a solid score, and it's a one-shot, so that helps me in the long run. And so here's the sack. And my thought is with this sack, like, let's go in and pull the abilities, because I've never sacked Orchis. And I'm thinking, okay, the main thing is you'll be in better shape because Scientist Supreme won't have her ult up. And hopefully what you can do is you can pull the summons out of the Sentinel. You definitely got Nimrod's first move, so that won't be a threat. And hopefully Lady Deathstrike won't be a problem. We know after the exhaust, Black Knight won't be a problem. So I'm just sitting here waiting, and I see Sentinel pulls his bot, so it's okay, that's done. And at this point, it's like, well, I'll just let it play out. The thing is, the Scientist Supreme went with her special, which is fine because I think that was necessary. The only problem is that when I come back in to the counter with the new warriors, her special is ready. And not her special, I'm sorry, her ultimate is ready. It didn't turn out to be a problem, but that's just something to stay conscious of or keep in mind if you're going to sack this team. So after the sack, Black Knight being exhausted, I'm like, new warriors should play out pretty normally as if there was just a full Orchis. And for the most part, it does. The only thing is different is the Gwen pool, I have to start on the Black Knight. That's not an extreme problem because, you go in, I'm able to move over to wherever I want to. So I decided to target the Nimrod and ult here with Firestar. It does a lot of damage, and basically now I can just go in and hit the Scientist Supreme or spread from Scientist Supreme because they've been slowed down. And so I think what I did is I put both ults onto the Lady Deathstrike. And so those assists took her out, and you can see here the ult there did a lot of damage with the assist and just kind of made this light work on this match. Now, I'm going in with Echo in the room one. And I said, well, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to take Echo up to 19. I've taken a lot of tunes to 19 that people normally wouldn't because I do buy the passes, so I have a lot of gear, gold and mats. And I'm like, this will be safe. Because if I have to use her next week or if they come with something similar in the future, she's G19, I don't have to worry about her. And so since I don't need Kang anywhere else, I'm like, well, I'm going to go in with Kang. Kang will be the fastest. We'll go right in. We'll target the Noir. And you can see all the damage done on Noir, but the main thing is that I was able to hit the Morgan and the Moon Knight. So now I target the Blade because I'm not sure what Blade can do. And the main thing is I want to get the assists on him. So you get all those assists, he's almost dead. And so now I'm just going to switch the target to Agatha because once again, I want to get all the damage I can in on her, get some assists, and then take her out. And so that's the game plan. Just focus on Agatha and Moon Knight last. And you can see this is a very quick and easy counter. And you may be able to do this with Zemo if you can't use Kang.